These are like the perfect Thanksgiving recipes. Just look how good that looks. Good morning everybody, and welcome to today's video. In today's video, I'm going to be prepping for a family of 4, food prepping. And I love watching these kinds of videos, so hopefully you do too. Today is Sunday, and I actually took the boys to a Costco this morning to do our kind of bi-weekly stock up. I just get things there that are obviously the bigger items, things we need more of. And then I go to Trader Joe's and Sprouts for the little things in between. Really quick, if you wanted an update on the last video, if you didn't see it, we are moving and we don't know where yet. Sadly, no updates on the move other than we're just packing up what we can. So today I'm just gonna take you through my Sunday food prepping for the week. I am going to make some mashed potatoes. I'm gonna pre-make those for dinner tonight so I don't have to do that when the boys are awake. I'm going to make some mac and cheese. I think I've shown it on my Instagram, the mac and cheese recipe, but I don't think I've shown it on YouTube yet. I got the recipe from Delilah. If you follow their vlog channel, Leposki, I love her stuff so much. And I've really been trying to step away from just the pre-boxed mac and cheeses and things like that. So this recipe is actually so good. I like to eat it myself. So normally I'll pre-make that on the weekends, and then we have enough for the whole week for dinners and lunches for the boys. As a little side for dinners or whatever. I have my bread rising, so I'll show you that, and then I'll separate it into 2 loaves later tonight. And then I'm probably gonna make one other thing with my sourdough starter tonight once it rises. I did feed it this morning, but it's not fully ready to make anything else yet. I'll show you where it's at now. I feel like every video is a sourdough update, but I just love doing it. So this is where it's at now. It kind of hasn't really risen as much as I have hoped since this morning, so we'll see how that goes. But here is the bread dough rising over here, and again this will be 2 loaves, and that pretty much gets us through maybe a week and a half, sometimes 2 weeks. So I typically will bake bread every 2 weeks and then keep one in the freezer, and then we'll use the fresh one for the week. So like I said, the boys are down for a nap, so I think I'm gonna put on a podcast. I'm gonna start with the boiling water for the mashed potatoes, because we're gonna do steak and asparagus tonight for a little Sunday fun meal. And then probably after that, I will start on the mac and cheese.
It's Ellie and I. Yeah.
Okay, while I have those potatoes boiling, I forgot I actually wanted to make a pumpkin coffee cake with streusel on top. I found this recipe on Pinterest a few weeks ago, and I've just been wanting to make it for a while now, obviously. And this is not something that's in our normal weekly prep. Obviously, this is just an extra fun thing, but it looks really good, and it will make breakfasts easier because I can just scoop it out and serve it. So that's what I'm going to get started on now. I have the butter softening, and then I'm just gonna add the ingredients to this bowl. It's a pretty simple cake recipe with the streusel on top, and then I think that's it. Yeah, it's just the cake mixture and then the streusel topping. So should be pretty easy. I have everything for it, and it just sounds delicious. So the pumpkin coffee cake is now in the oven, and I've been letting the potatoes cool over here before I start to mash them. I realized that since we are moving, I don't have a ton of my baking supplies, so I'm kind of having to use my hands. I don't have my hand mixer or the attachments to my KitchenAid. So we're gonna improvise with mashing these potatoes the old-fashioned way. I might just use forks and wooden spoons. We'll see how it goes. But what I add to the mashed potatoes is just some garlic salt, just regular powdered garlic, and garlic salt like I said. And then if we have a lactose-free butter or milk, I'll add that in because Jacob is dairy-free if you guys have been following for a while. And then just some regular salt and pepper as well. So let's see how this goes without any of my baking tools. Okay, so this is how far I've gotten with the mashed potatoes so far. It's definitely coming together, but my arm is very sore. So I'm gonna take a break from this and start working on the mac and cheese. I just rinsed this pot out, and then I'll leave the recipe for you down below, but I'm gonna put 1 cup of chicken broth in the pot with, I think it's 1 cup of milk, and then 1 cup of water. This makes it taste so good, and it's also so good for you, and it's the only way I can get the boys to eat it. So basically you bring that to a boil and then you add the noodles in. I've been using these noodles. They're probably not the best for you, but they're the Barilla spiral noodles, and I just put this whole box in, and then you're gonna mix that together until the noodles completely absorb all the liquid in there, and the pot's gonna be covered at that point, so you're gonna wanna cover it so that the heat and steam can stay in there. And then once it's absorbed all of the liquid, you're going to add the cheese. And I use a white cheddar because that's what my boys prefer, and I think it tastes the best, honestly, too. I use a different one every time, but this time I'm using a Simple Truth Organics sharp white cheddar. And I believe you wanna do 1 to 2 cups. So you're gonna shred it and then add it in at the end, mix it all together, and it's done. I'll show you guys me doing it, obviously, and then I'll have the recipe somewhere either on the screen or in the description so you can see it. But again, I got it from Delilah here on YouTube. Gonna get going on that right now, and the pumpkin coffee cake has about 30 minutes left, and it smells so good. I don't know what I'm gonna eat after I finish baking all of these things. Do I want sweet? Do I want savory?
Driving around in a passenger van, dreaming of when I'd ever begin to start my life. That's when I moved to the city to be on the stage, but the curtain had closed. You walked in the room, and that's when I knew that I was home in my life.
Okay, Jacob is home now. He was out filming this morning, but I have to try this mac and cheese on camera because it looks so good. And then I'll also try the coffee cake later, which also looks amazing. So, I mean, I've had this mac and cheese before, but not on camera. That's good stuff. The pasta feels a little not as soft as before, so maybe, I couldn't remember if I did 2 cups of water last time or 1, and I just did 1. So maybe I needed 2. But flavor is so good with a little salt and pepper. These are like the perfect Thanksgiving recipes, and you could make them like a few days before Thanksgiving even, because this mac and cheese lasts a good 3 to 5 days after in the fridge. You could just reheat it and it would be ready for Thanksgiving, and you could do the coffee cake for breakfast, the mashed potatoes for dinner, the mac and cheese as a side for dinner. But now I'm just going to enjoy this mac and cheese, and I'll show you guys the coffee cake once I cut into it. Okay, I took some photos for Instagram, so I'm sure you will see that over on my Instagram. But I have to try this while it is warm. It smells so good. I don't remember the last time I made a coffee cake, and I've never made a pumpkin one before. So just look how good that looks. And I rarely make things with actual dairy in it, so that makes it extra good. So let's take our first bite. Oh my goodness. That is so good. So good. And you could put an icing on top if you wanted. But I'm just gonna sit here and finish eating this. I'll be here eating my pumpkin coffee cake with the last little bit of the boys' nap.